Yo, what's up guys? Back on save for Scout, which is also kind of safe for Guardian right now, but I've been lazy and I don't want to spend 300 crystals on changing the name. But let's look at the 100-day account review. And then we're going to go over a few things, what I'm planning to do with this account, what kind of content I'm planning to make with it, and also the question to you guys, but that part will be at the end. So, first of all, what do we have on the account for just simply the profile? We do get ourselves a G1 in Arena, we do have G1 in Siege and G1 in World Guild Battle, which is just the guild content. These two are relatively simple. Triple S and World Boss, very simple. I could have done better in Temple of Chaos, but it takes a bit of effort to actually get like a proper thing in. I would say Hell Stage on TOA is not that difficult too if you just have like very typical units. I didn't do anything in Special League. World Arena, I just got like the P1 rank and then pretty much didn't play at all anymore. If we're looking at the fastest times, we got about like 20 seconds on all of the dungeons that matter. We do not care about Spiritual Realm. I actually have never ran anything Spiritual Realm for Abyss at all. But it's kind of cool to see that we have every dungeon on 22 seconds as a fastest run. Averages are definitely a bit slower than that. But I'm doing Giants average. Well, we can actually see the averages if we go out of Scout Battle. Because I think I have ran most things for averages later on as well. Not everything was fully upgraded. But we have 24 average in Giants as fastest. So mostly like 25, 26-ish. Dragons we're doing a 27 average. Maybe I can do a little bit faster right now because I've been doing a good bit of Steel Fortress in the Scout Battle. And with Scout Battling Steel Fortress, you would just improve all of your PvE dungeon teams because you get better artifacts for damage on element. And then we have 33 over here, 34 over here. And if we go towards these, we have like 35-ish on most of them. So what am I doing most of the time for farming these days? Well, I'm actually mainly farming Giants and Dragons. And what I'm actually using most in Dragons is this team. And this is my slow team in Dragons, and this is also my leveling team in Dragons. Since I don't have an infinite amount of income on crystals on this account, I'm actually using this a lot to simply not waste any resource for leveling a unit, which is really chill. Recently, I pulled a fair bit of new net 5, so I've been leveling this, such as this Bludja. And that is just a simple way to do that. I also have noticed the moment that we had the Siege. So for my crystal income, the moment we had Siege, that was only half a day Siege. This is on Asia server. I was pretty much awake too late to participate in the Siege, and therefore you lose a lot of crystals, and therefore it's harder to maintain your crystal income towards like also farming a little bit. But you can run Scout Battle 24/7 plus just doing your Amira's luck, simply on just whatever you get from like events and those kind of things. I never actually ran out of crystals, and you still have a little bit to farm with. So is this game therefore the most free-to-play gacha game out there? I would say so, because you can permanently farm on Scout Battle and Amira's luck without actually having to spend anything, because this account, of course, 100% free-to-play. So as mentioned, most of the time I'm doing the farming itself in Giants and Dragons. And then I'm Scout Battling a lot in Steel Fortress Punisher Script, and I'm Scout Battling on the Rift Raids. Also, I would say that this account probably progressed a lot faster than most of y'all out there, because what you guys are probably doing is just an ungodly amount of Giants farming, and then you also Scout Battle Giants, and then you'll be like, I don't get my Swift Quads. Well, this account has 0 Swift Quads. I think I do have a Vio Quad, Despair Quad, and a few other quads. But if we're looking at the fastest set, it's 26 over there, 28 over there. This one, wait, ain't no way that that is my fastest. Apparently, oh no, we did not show all of them. 25 over there, 28 over there still, 28 over there, 27 over there, and 25 over there. So nothing too crazy for like how fast that is. We do have a few other runes that are pretty fast. We got the 32 over there. I think that both of them, 32 and 31 over there. This one can still be upgraded. Did I get that upgrade already? Yep, that's what I've been Scout Battling for. I most of the time do these kind of things on Scout Battle. Pretty nice. So that's definitely a fast set right there. 28 over there, and then 27 over there, and then this is also 27. So that's what we're working with. But the main thing is, what I noticed with a lot of people is that you're just mindlessly farming the same thing over and over. And the moment you keep farming the same thing over and over, you getting an upgrade on that is very difficult. Like if you farmed on your account, let's say 95% Giants, the moment that you step and you'll be like, oh, I farmed the whole month and I don't get any upgrades. Well, maybe go into Necro for 3, 5, 6 or 8 days or something, because I bet you will get upgrades. You will have runes that you actually keep. Because in here, you're just focusing on getting that 24 speed to a 25 speed. That is a gap that's very difficult. And that is also something you notice. For me getting the fastest set on this account, I actually got that on pretty early. Let's just see 100 units. Do we have 100 unit here somewhere? This is 100 unit. What's the fastest set that we have on the account? Because the fastest set I had on the account, I got pretty early on. I think like within like 15 days or something. And people were like, whoa, that's such a crazy set. But that's the thing, like getting 28s or like just 24s plus a 5 or like 23s plus a 5, those things are relatively simple. But upgrading from there into quad rolls, that is where it gets hard. So that is one of those things you have to keep in mind. And that is where also the thing comes in where people are just mindlessly farming the same thing over and over and simply not getting their upgrades because they're like, yo, I have to get my Swift quad in to be faster and therefore I can get like good upgrades and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you, in P2, P3 rank, there's people with like 230 sets out there. They are still P2, P3 because they only have one set that doesn't really make too much sense. Like we have double defense over here as fast as runes. We could upgrade a little bit more if we could. Yeah, we could still have like we have a 4 over there. Still have 4 over there and 4 over there. Well, this one is worth a 5. That is 100% true. I have to scout battle again. And then this one could use an upgrade over there for whatever. So what people are doing is just mindlessly farming the same thing over and over. And you're just not going to get the upgrade at some point. Whereas if you switch a little bit between dungeons, especially for people that haven't farmed anything in artifacts for a long time, moment that you start farming a little bit of artifacts, it will be so much better. And also at some point I did notice myself with artifact farming as well. If we look at how much storage you have for farming, rune storage, I'm kind of like, if I sell everything, I'm close towards like 1100-ish. I should definitely sell more. This one was stacking at max as well. The other day I was just looking at all of the artifacts and sure you could have like the best cell selection and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. I definitely don't have a good cell selection on this. But there's so many combinations of things that cell selection just doesn't pick out. Because, for example, if you have a defense main on a damage up and it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, then it is never really that interesting. You always kind of have to look at the individual artifact. If you can feel something like, hey, this could be used for this could be used for that. Not just purely focus on like, oh, I just need the additional damage by speed because additional damage by speed is the best thing out there. It is one of the better things out there, absolutely, but it's not necessarily like, hey, that is the only stat that you're aiming for because there's more stats that you can actually use. And maybe I should redo a video about understanding of artifacts, but I noticed these videos are just not watched that much. I still have a really good video explaining artifacts, but it's just simply not watched that much. People just don't want to put a little bit of time in understanding artifacts, whereas it's not that difficult. Like, if something multi-hits, you go for additional damage by artifact. If something is a full nuker on an element, always specific, you go damage on that element. If something is not that, but has crit damage, then you go, or has crit rate, then you go crit damages up. If you have none of these things, then you probably are a support that takes damage, and you have to go for damage down. That's pretty much all there is. And then if there is a unit that needs accuracy, you fix the accuracy in that. Like that, I explained artifacts in a whole minute. That's literally all. Like, I can't even make a long video on that. Maybe I should do more short-form content. I have a few ideas for short-form content. It's just that I haven't really been into making those that much as of yet. But like, could be talking about skins and like faster skins and that kind of yada yada whatever. But yeah, back to the account. So, what have I been summoning so far? So that's the fastest set we have over there. Let's actually do fastest sets for everything. We can go back to a unit that was the 100 base. Where are you at over here? 100 base. I think my Fio set, I've been farming a fair bit of Fio on this account. Also, all resources of events tend to go into Fio outside of the things that I went for fights early on. I do also farm Infrared, and because of Infrared farming, you also get more Fio. So this is the fastest Fio set I can do on full Fio. But we also have a few slower pieces in there. So what could we do? These are all decently fast. And then this one is also, I could do for this for a broken, which is definitely not a bad set. Like if you just purely look at the speed and you don't look at anything else. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have over there. Despair, I think, is kind of similar-ish. That is a fast one. That is 22. So just getting 22s to 23s on base on everything is relatively simple. Upgrading it after that, that is where it gets hard. And that's something that people have to keep in mind. And that's also a thing where people is like, oh, I cannot get upgrades. Like, yeah, because you're trying to get that speed quad. Getting that speed quad is the part that is difficult. Definitely have to start doing the other scout battle for some of these. So this one is a little bit slower. Could do so a little bit more necro. I'm also not farming Lumo or Elunia. Elunia is what I would recommend most people to do because that's where you get your will runes if you're not farming that much necro. I chose to go for Infrared just to do something different than my main account. But in most cases, I would recommend to go for Lumo or Elunia. In most cases, just Elunia because that will give you the most amount of value for the whole account overall. So yeah, bit of farming on everything. Then let's look at what I summoned so far. So for fire, we got a Fire Stark, not that interesting. We got Tetsuya, could go start doing some RTA with that. Tricks, of course, that was one of the choice units. This thing could be nice for cleave here and there. This thing is used a lot. At first when I pulled it was not that crazy what I thought, but it's actually a really good unit with a dot team. Could use this for dot team, could use that for dot team. I actually have a lot of units I could use for dot teams right there. That one is free, of course. Brenya, haven't used that one at all. This one I just recently leveled. So that's about like 7 units or something. We got the free run. She has really good damage. These two are free to play. We picked up the Lamilia, which actually in the end, that was my choice thing that I removed the Tesha from. I don't think it was a bad choice, but in hindsight, I actually am not using her as much anymore, and I'll showcase the teams that I'm using later on. She's actually used a lot. She's really, really good. Amber, of course, cannot go without an Amber. Amber's just way too good on accounts that don't have any rune quality. Moore is a nice unit, and then Nana over there. And that is about that. So that's what, like 7 units or something, I think. Then over here, I do have the Wind Stark. I recently also picked up the Elderhorn, which is the Legolas, which is really nice for cleaves. I haven't built him yet. I did skill him up. I had the perfect skills on him just going in S2 and S3, and I won't do S1 because I don't have that many Devilmons on this account. But I do also have a Tiana, which will make him very usable. So I will definitely use him at some point. We'll use him for Siege offense and Arena offense. I pulled Aya yesterday, which is really nice because I did also pull a Leo on this account. I don't have a Feng Yang just yet, but I will be able to make some Aya plus Leo kind of comp. Not sure what kind of supports I will put next to that because Veromos kind of cleanses things. Lulu also puts immunity. You don't want that. So it is the best case to just go for this thing, but I'll figure out some support that kind of fits. Sonya, also a nice unit. Haven't been using that much. Mephisto, never used. Tiana, yep. And then the Tesha, actually pulled the Tesha after feeding the Tesha, but never scaled them up since. So I think that's about 9 units. So we should be looking at like 25-ish unique net 5s on this account in 100 days, which is definitely not bad. That's averaging 1 new net 5 per 4 days on average. And I did get about, I think like 8, no, not 8. I think I got like 4 or 5 dupes. Might you ask what I do get the question pretty often, what do you do with the dupes? In this case, I had the mileage on this thing for the summon circle. So I was like, oh, I have the mileage. And because I had the mileage, let's just do a blessing right away. Oh, I actually already did my blessing. I came out of that blessing. But I was like, oh, let's just do a blessing. Well, actually, the mileage thing here at the bottom left, that this thing doesn't work with a blessing, apparently. Figure that part out. Either out for that reason, I was like, oh, let's just do a blessing. But most of the time, if you want to play most effective and you already paired or like pulled a fair bit of units. Oh, I also have a bunch that I did not awaken just yet. So probably have like, oh wait, then I have like 30 with these 5 added in there. So then it's like new net 5 per 3 days-ish on average, which definitely, that's kind of generous. There's a lot of units in the game though. And probably I missed a few more because these 2 are not awakened. This one is not awakened. So that's 33. Yeah, that's definitely one new net 5 per 3 days. That's pretty insane. But yeah, these all I'm not really expecting to use that early on because you don't get that much Devilmons, and that's also what I was going towards. It is nice to get these. So you can get like almost 3 Devilmons per dupe that you get. If you want to play the most effective and you're not wailing at all, I would say get the Devilmons from your dupes, but here and there, Blessing is just kind of fun. I did not get any of the relics from this. It is nice to do a little bit of this because this is where you like get a lot of the power-up material if you do get some solid relics. But for the relics that I have on this account, it's just whatever I got early on from just like randomly doing a relic. This one is actually pretty nice. That's also what most of my units are running on, if not pretty much all. Yeah, except for the tanks. Oh, and I also have this one. That's the HP version next to it. But yeah, that's just what most of my units are running on. My artifact game is kind of okay. I have some artifacts on some dungeons that are looking pretty solid. Some others, not at all. Dungeon teams, if you want to see all of the dungeon teams, I just go quickly through them. Let's just check like a few of the teams that I'm using. So this is the main team that I'm using in Giants. It's a really solid team, and it's super easy to build. It's just your Julie one-shotting because of this attack buff. And then these two are for the cleanup. Very solid team. Dragon's team, as I mentioned, I'm mainly using this team to level up a unit, and these are literally built on whatever. Like, it's really whatever they're built on. It doesn't give a shit. You can add them a little bit faster. At some point, I just went through the whole team. It's like, hey, do I have better artifacts for... Like, I pulled this one, for example, like, here on the damage on fire for the Varomals. Does have crit rate, crit damage. It speeds things up a bit. I think you also have that. Did not even put a relic on you yet, but doesn't matter as much. This is my actually like fast team for farming, which is also, as I mentioned before, very easy to build. Getting that extra damage on fire is just crazy simple, and just adding so much more stats. It's not crazy simple, but it's just very simple to use. This one, these artifacts are nothing too special as well. I'm pretty sure I would have upgrades on those as well, simply because I've been farming a good bit of Scout Battle in artifacts the last few days. So probably if we check over here, do we have any upgrade? No, we don't have an upgrade on this. We do have an upgrade on this. Is that a pure on upgrade? That should be an upgrade for sure. Yeah, because we have higher additional damage by attack, I could remove this line for something else, so that should be an upgrade. Plus, you always work with an attack buff because of the Tion kind of things. So this team is pretty solid as well. Yep, I don't even care about you. Necro team is still the old Necro team. I just got once a sub 40-second team, never improved it after since. But it's just like this team out there. Probably can do better on artifact damage as well. This one is damage on dark, but defense main. This one's damage on dark, 16, 18, defense main. Not too bad. It's just like the wrong main, but it's already pretty decently high. This thing, as mentioned, you don't farm this. You do not farm this. Do not try to be like, oh, I need fight runes. I have to farm fight runes, blah, 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 blah. You don't need to farm fight runes. Look at how many fight runes I have on this account. On this account, I do have myself 127 usable fight runes. Not all of them usable, but pretty much usable fight runes. They just came from events. That's just, like in the 100 days, there are always some events where you can get some fight runes, especially if there are events for hero fight runes, because this on a violent rune is never really going to be used. However, if this rolled like 20 in crit rate on a fight rune hero, 100% being used. So therefore, fight runes always do go for, or go for fight runes the moment you go for heroes. And that just adds good value to that. So don't farm this. Waste of time because you get so much shit you never use. The team that I used over here was, I think, this team, but I think I sold an artifact. Was it this team or was it that team? No, this was the team. This team worked slightly bit better because this thing is the lightning rod for the boss to always hit. And then these are just the other units. But since I could be scout battling this, and this team does fail a little bit, I've mainly been scout battling this. And same for this team. This team, it does work, but probably works better right now because I have better rune quality at the moment, and I have more like damage on lights, most likely. Pretty sure, like I did this all with like a bunch of like 14s and shit. But also mainly scout battling. That's just the main thing. And that's for all of these dungeons. If we go to Rift of Worlds, I did make a video talking about all of these Rift Beasts. As mentioned, you only have to get like a 7.5 mil and then you can scout battle them, and then you just scout battle them and never do them again. So don't care about that much about that. If we go for the Rift Raids, these were the teams that I'm using. I did sell a few runes like a few days ago, so maybe I sold a little bit too enthusiastic and sold a bit too much. But this team clears most of it, and it does also clear, I think, for some of the other elements as well. But it's also one of those things, you just get them in and then you scout battle them. So the main recommendation I have is just normal farm giants/dragons. Also level up your units in there, and then scout battle a little bit of everything. So scout battling Steel Fortress, scout battling Punish Script, scout battling your Rift of Worlds. Never scout battle giants or dragons. That's just the main thing I recommend, because you're already farming enough giants and dragons. You probably have that team covered. Never never scout battle for giants and dragons. Always scout battle for something that you're not farming. That is my highest recommendation I give. Plus, if you really want to nitpick on the best value for scout battling, all of these dungeons give a energy cashback. And if you scout battle, you don't give energy cashback on those. Whereas if you go to the Rift of Worlds or Rift Raid, they cost less, but it's also kind of covered in the Scout Battle costing less, so that's pretty much same. But you never get a cashback of your energy. And what do I mean with cashback of the energy? If you clear a monster at some point, you have like a drop of energy, and that drop of energy you can probably see. Yeah, you can see that over here. I got 14 energy back for using about like 200 something energy that I did right now on these 28 runs. That you don't have that on R5. So by not having that on R5, and you never have that if you Scout Battle this, so you're missing out on that 14 if you were to Scout Battle this. But since you never have that on R5 in the first place, you might as well just Scout Battle R5, because it's a little bit of nitpicking, but if you really want to play effective, that's the thing. But just in general, the main thing you have to know, never Scout Battle Giants or Dragons. Necro, if you're never farming it, you could Scout Battle it. That's just Scout Battle anything that you're normally not farming. That's the biggest recommendation I can give. So yeah, that's pretty much all for PvE. If we're looking at PvE other things, these were the teams that I was using for Temple of Chaos. Nothing too crazy, mainly Team 1, Team 2 is just bringing me over the edge where it's kind of okay-ish. And then Team 3 is just whatever, it doesn't even really work. Trial of Ascension, I pretty much just use the first team both for normal and hard. I don't have a fast team, but to be honest, I just put this on the second screen and I just tap next like 20 times and I'm done with TOA normal and TOA hard. And this team clears both normal and hard completely, full auto. So since they did that once, I never upgraded the runes on it. I did not even apply relics to it. It's just, it worked. I never looked at it again. As I mentioned, I am farming the Roaring Beasts. No, we're farming... Wait, is it this one? Yep. Is it this? Yeah, it's this. This is the Infrared. So I'm farming Infrared as main. I do that with a full-on will team on all 3 units. Since the Hemo is there, you could get away with double will runes and then a damage set. But since I already had triple will runes and then I used to do it with a Targ, Hemo was a lot better. So you just go for those and that's what I do. However... in hindsight, I would say I would recommend most people to farm Elunia, and Elunia can be farmed with just like whatever, like full-on wing team. It's really not that difficult in the first place. Then moving on to some PvP content, what I've been doing in PvP, I definitely have to upgrade a bunch of teams, but my best siege hit is of course still this one. That's just the one that I've used always. This team I will definitely change to get in the Legolas on Wind, and probably for Defense Breaker in that case, I will go for a Truffle or something, but I'm not 100% sure yet. This team I really do like as well. Solveig is such a great unit. 28 on the speed lead, you just need a like plus 138 or something, or 141. It's something pretty low to be on the right speed tick. And then the other 2 units are just good bruises with some add damages in there. I can definitely improve those add damage. I'm 100% sure I have better add damages than that at the moment. Should be improving that. This team is really nice. You can actually build multiple of this if you did get multiple Hyanis from your HOH, which is really good. These 2 you don't have to get any skill ups in, which is really nice. You can build them full fast, all 3. What I did over here, you can also build them on Shield Will and then just tank the first turn and then go for a second turn rotation kind of style. This team is not really that crazy. It was good before, but it's still actually, it's usable, so it's definitely not that bad. But it was a lot better when Schumer was strong, but it's still okay-ish. This thing is kind of nice. It's a good combination for making a free run do a lot of damage. I mostly pair this together with what we had for the previous season. We had a Federica in here. I haven't checked in this season what's good, so I will have to check that. This one is a really nice team as well. It's just Conrad plus cleanup, and this is the fastest thing I could make on a fast set on Vio plus cleanup. And that's just, you send the robo in, you trade the HP, you kill the unit with this thing, and then you just bruise it out. Works really well. This team is actually never really used. It doesn't outspeed enough for my liking, so therefore I don't really use it. This team is crazy nice to have to put relics to it. It's just Bernard speeding at a 30 lead over here, which is crazy good. Then you give the protection, and then your Orochi has to one-shot something, and then you just bruise it out on a 2 against 3. This artifact is also crazy good. Like, this is pretty much better than some of my artifacts on my main account. This team never really used. This team not really used. This team, it is used sometimes, but it's hard to get enough speed on all of them to be good. This team is actually used a lot. I really do like this team. Huang crit rate, this thing does like on wind double 20Ks on just the death break. That's just stupid for damage. This thing, haven't really used it yet, but was planning to use it, but I might actually go for a slight different team. This team I also haven't used just yet, but this is kind of my Adriana-ish version of, I don't have an Adriana, but I still want to get attack buff, speed buff, and then I can kind of work with it. And I can use this against very slow teams. So that is something that I could do. The Gemini team also haven't made this work yet. I do have a bunch of extra units, as I mentioned, that I'm leveling right now, and I will definitely be using those too. I could use her for a nuker. This is the Trish, or is it Jennifer? No, it's Trish, I think. Yeah, that should be Trish. So I can be using her for a new nuking team. I do have this one, but I don't. It's kind of like a Ramagod, but I don't really like that unit in the first place, so I don't think I will be using that. What else did I pull that I was leveling? Mei Weng, I could definitely put in some kind of bruiser team right there. That's definitely going to be used. We have this thing right now, as mentioned. We'll pair this with my Tiana plus a defense breaker that will absolutely be used. I don't have a Leo team just yet, but I'm planning to go for a Leo plus an Aya combination because that's just super strong. And I can make everything super tanky, and then I probably put a Lulu next to it. If I play it on manual, I can provide the immunity if I want to. I cannot provide it if I don't want to. So just a Lulu plus a Leo plus a Lulu will absolutely be great team. There will be that I have to make a second Lulu because the current Lulu is already used for the other team. Maybe I'll figure out some other that I go for Raccoon, but Raccoon could maybe cleanse things when I don't want it or something. So I'm not 100% sure yet what kind of support I want to put next to that. It would once again be the best if I can just put an Angela next to it, but I don't have that yet. I do have this Stark unit as well. It is crazy strong right now, but I'm kind of hesitant for the balance patch to actually build him yet. And Bludja is definitely one of those units that's also crazy good for some kind of siege offense. It's just kind of that I'm out of strips-ish that I do like. But I kind of feel her value where I could put my more with her as a strip or her as a backup strip, or just going straight for an S3. And then a final unit, which then could also be maybe back towards one of these dot units out there or something. Like that's definitely one of those things that I could use. Or I also don't have the team on a Water Aya yet. I use my Water Aya a lot in Arena Offense, but I don't use it yet over here. So I could maybe go... Whoops, clicking all kinds of random shit. I could maybe go for that on a Siege Offense. So I kind of go for these two, but instead of you, I go for Bludge over here. Sounds a bit stronger. Then for Arena Offense, as I mentioned, I'm not using the Lamilia as much. I was expecting this team to be used a lot, or this team to be used a lot, but this team is actually a little bit hard to rune on really bad rune quality. Maybe I can do it right now, but I had to put units towards Swift, which is just a lot worse. If your enemy starts proccing a lot and you don't have a chance to proc, it's just kind of bad. So for that reason, the main used team is actually this one, which gives the 24 lead over here, which makes it easy to be on the right tick and still be fast enough and still be fire on the whole team. And what I've been recently using a lot is this team over here. This team is really nice because the moment that Aya lands a bit, Amber lands a bit, and this thing lands a bit, everything is just straight up dead. So against wind units, a little bit harder. I did also pull an LD5 on this, did not even mention that thing, but to be honest, I never used Daniel. For Daniel, I would need two things in particular. I need a Changpong and I need a Jemire. If I have Changpong, Jemire, Tiana plus Daniel, I would 100% use that. But without that, it's not really usable at all. So I don't really plan to use that anytime soon. Then we have some other things for this, but all of those. I did recently make a video on how to get all of these to the highest rank. Main thing you have to do is get these Shoko Knights in. That's just the main thing. And these, they're all like very specific on the element, but they're kind of easy to build as well. And I think that that's about it for all of the dungeon teams. For RTA-wise, I haven't played any RTA yet in the current season. Last season, I did get myself pretty much close to 80% win rate and get it in there. It was pretty easy. There was also way low rune quality than I had right now. But at that time, I did also have a support that was crazy hard fitting in there. And that was the support for a Layla. This time around, there's no Layla support, but I think that's, if I do this somewhere towards the end of the season, it should definitely not be that hard. Let's actually check what kind of supports we do have over here. This is where, can we check the supports over here? Supports, where are my supports? Do we have supports? Thought maybe they show up later or something, that this is still for the Siege tournament or something that the others haven't showed up just yet. I don't know. But, or I just checked something different. I don't know. They're probably somewhere out there and they're probably something usable out there. But then the big question is, well, what to do with the account right now? Do I just keep playing it as I am doing right now? I could definitely do that. The only thing is, I can use this account if I stop playing this account right now, which is an option. I can always use this account as a 100-day account rune quality for easy dungeon teams, because a lot of the teams that I make on my main, especially the new teams out there, people cannot really relate because you need crazy good runes. In this account, I could showcase a few dungeon teams, especially such as the Dragons team, that it was not hard to rune at all, where some people was like, oh my god, you need crazy good runes for this. Say says that it's easy to rune. Well, yes, this thing is actually easy to rune. You just have to get the right skills. That's all. Even without the skills on the Agrius, I was still able to rune this. So this one is actually easy to rune. So I could keep it as a 100-day account, stop playing it. That could be a thing. I could also continuously play it, but then again, it does take a lot of time and effort if I want to, say, like, try hard it for RTA or go into higher siege. I'm not really planning to do that because that's just very time consuming to do that on 2 accounts. I will, of course, improve more and more units. I will get more and more units, more and more Delvermon. So at some point, like, all of my siege hits are going to be super easy. All of my World Guild Battle hits are going to be super easy. RTA getting P1 is going to be super easy. But then the question is, what is the goal after that? So that's also my question to you guys. What would you recommend me to do with this account? Should I continue playing it? Or should I just keep it as the 100-day account and just leave all of the rune quality as is? Not touch it anymore until I do want to make another dungeon guide. Like, those are kind of the things that I'm in between. It's also one of those things, the account doesn't have anything in particular that I don't have on my main. So, for example, if I were to have a specific LD5, such as like a core unit that right now, like Valeska or something like that, if I had on this account a Valeska plus a Windstark, yo, we're talking. Like, that's crazy fun shit right there. But since it only has the Daniel, which doesn't really add that much, like, legit, I'm barely using this unit at all, simply because I don't have the right pairs for pushing back the attack bar enough. Therefore, it's just not used as much. I could maybe do that with a Bludger. Bludger has good pushback, right? How much do you push back? You have 3 hits with 20 pushback. No, that's not enough. You need more. Like, that's the thing with Chungpunk. Chungpunk just resets like 75 3 times or something. Yeah, 75 3 times. Like, you're done with your attack bar. Like, for sure, you only need 2 hits and you're already at 0. So yeah, that's kind of a thing that I'm in the midst. I'm not too sure what to do with this account because I'm not playing it crazy active. I still kind of try to upkeep that. I'm at least doing all my events. At least I'm doing my scout battles. But then you also have to do like all of the chore kind of things, like your TOA and that kind of stuff. TOA is not that bad, but Temple of Chaos is a little bit annoying. Always doing all of the events, always doing all of these can be a little bit annoying as well. So I'm not 100% sure what to do with it. Also, let me know in the comments, do you like the content on this account? If I do, let's say, Arena Rush on it. If I do, let's say, that could maybe be a long time goal to get this account to an Arena Rush of G3. It is, people did mention that, and I do 100% agree with that. I actually did not rush last week because I was in the airplane. It is 100 times easier on Asia server than it is on Europe server. That's 100% true. But it could be cool that I get this account to G3 within a year or something. That could maybe be one of the core goals on this account. I could actually put an Aya on defense right now next to my Leo. Wow, that's actually pretty strong defense, not gonna lie. Oh, I have some, yeah, this account, I could maybe make it an Arena D or like an Arena Rush kind of main account plus doing some siege here and there. I would be down for that. But let me know in the comments what you think about it. Let me know also if you did enjoy this review of the 100-day account. If I keep playing it, I will definitely do a 200-day, 300-day, and then a whole year account review. It is also one of those things, what if in the future I will probably make a 2027 beginner series again. But maybe if I make a beginner series, I would just keep that as like a 3rd account and then just do a 1 week or 2 week kind of cycle of just seeing like how fast is progression at that time. But don't do a full new account, like whole series on it like I did with this one. But that's kind of also depending like how much the game changed, because this time around the game changed a lot to have the goal for scout battling. And we managed to scout battle everything on like full value within like 30 days or something, or a little bit more than 30 days. Well, that's enough yapping for me, guys. I hope that you did enjoy this video. Let me know in the comments what you would like me to see doing on this account for content. And hope to see you, as always, in the next one. Hopefully next one, we're going to be talking about balance patch, because we did get a few notices, and I was like, notice, no balance patch. Notice, no balance patch. New note, oh, fuck, no balance patch. So I guess we get the notice on the balance patch on Monday, probably patch on Wednesday. I don't expect them to give a balance patch notice on the weekend. They only tend to do that on the weekend if there was a legend tournament on the weekend. So don't really hope, or don't really expect that to be seen in there. However, you never know with Zomtuus. Same as your RNG on pulling units. Sometimes you pull all of them, sometimes you pull absolutely fucking jack shit. Well, that's all for this one. See ya later.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.